Concierge is a word that's used often, but rarely understood in depth. It's usually associated with luxury without much thought given to the judgment, coordination, and responsibility that sit behind every outcome.
Luxury is all about saving time.
People think if it's a luxury concierge, it's expensive. This podcast is a space for conversations around what comes next in how people live, build, and define time, access, and legacy. Hello, I am Shreya Patharkar, the founder and managing director of Lafayette Luxury Concierge. Welcome to the next. Joining us today is the CEO of Lafayette Luxury Concierge, Mr. Vivek Sharma. So Vivek, we use the word concierge so often, but I still feel that people interpret it very differently than what it is. I think they think that we are a travel agency, reservations for hotels and flights, but it's not that, right? It's much more.
Oh, actually, it has nothing to do with that. The job of a concierge individual is to actually manage the complexities in life of an individual where there is a requirement which has 10 layers of speaking to vendors, speaking to banking institutions or anything it can be. That's where a concierge comes in, to actually handle that whole layer and just manage everything with just one individual at hand.
Eliminating effort.
Exactly.
No one likes to take efforts nowadays, and that's why that's where a concierge steps in.
Indeed.
But I think concierge is just not traveling. It's much more than that. The plethora of services like restaurant reservations, event access, counseling for children, and much more.
Mm-hmm. And when we just take an example of restaurant reservation, with the increase in the disposable income of individuals across the globe, I mean in HNIs, in UHNIs it can be, people are more inclined to experience fine dining at different establishments across the globe. And we've seen that for not just dining in a restaurant, dining in the sea. I mean, private dining aboard a floating platform in an ocean.
Yeah, but even events for that matter. Like last year, I think was full of events with Taylor Swift.
Coldplay?
Oh yeah, Coldplay was crazy. Specifically in India, it was madness.
The requirement, the sold out concert, the demand was impeccable. And of course, to manage such a thing was a nightmare all in itself for a concierge, you know.
Yeah, but I think for events also, it's just not with concerts, correct? I mean, Wimbledon is a big thing. Even this year, FIFA World Cup, Wimbledon happening again, and T20 that is coming up.
World Cup, yes. We can definitely see the rate sold out events are coming up. World Cup launched, and the very next day, everything was sold out. People are going very much berserk on this situation. What can they do? That's where a concierge comes in, because concierge is not just about talking to people. It's about having that access.
Correct.
You know, having the network where you can actually get such an access.
Yeah.
And that's where we are trying to fill that gap for such individuals.
I think it's also about providing the clients with the luxury of time. We see a lot of businessmen, business families for that matter, industrialists. They lack time because they have so much on their head all the time that doing their lifestyle reservations or even planning out some, like maybe a small birthday for their wife, they don't have the time for that. And providing the luxury of time and access is what a concierge precisely is, what I feel.
I mean, when you mentioned Wimbledon, I just clicked. I mean, an individual who actually wanted to attend a meeting, but the next day of the final of Wimbledon, we had to arrange the full board activities for them. We had to arrange the private jet for them, and we had to make sure that travel accommodation was sorted in a way that they are able to go to the Wimbledon at the exact time and then exit Wimbledon at the exact time so that they can catch their jet back and have that meeting the next day.
Correct.
And it's what the intention is what comes in for a concierge, you know.
Yeah, I think I remember this was at the notice of 8 hours.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that's the intention that a concierge brings in, because if an individual just goes to a organization that helps them book a charter, they probably do not understand their likes and dislikes. I mean, the client probably wants to have a specific espresso while they are on board, or specific dessert, you know. A concierge already knows everything about that client. So
It's
for
the
us,
personalization.
yes, and for us, it's very easy for to manage such a thing, because we understand their tastes and preferences. So the whole journey is taken care of, that one point of contact that understands everything about your life.
Yeah. I think pre-COVID, that was when we started Lafayette 2018, luxury consumers were people who already have grown in their life. They already have that wealth. The HNIs and new HNIs for that matter. But now I see a lot of startup owners as well opting for concierge because they want to build something big and they don't have the time to look into all of these lifestyle needs.
We've seen this a lot. The executive assistants of such, new startup owners, they reach out to us because that's a very stark differentiation that I also wanted to point out. A lot of people confuse concierge with a personal assistant, but the difference is huge in this, because an executive assistant wouldn't have the contacts what a concierge does across the globe.
Yeah.
And we can see that because we see these EAs reaching out to us from across the globe. They want access to our network so that they can serve their bosses in the right way.
For that matter, doctors. I think doctors are the ones who have the least time.
Yes, I mean, that's the reason why we have introduced a separate membership for doctors, because be it any surgeon, being a surgeon is a whole task altogether, and then managing everything else in your life, it's a difficult task.
That's why we've got so many clients, the doctors specifically, their wife is looking after all the travel plans they have, and it's a nightmare for her. And I think that was the vision behind starting this membership for doctors as well, where we handle their conference management and, for that matter, even the appointments for outbound patients. Because medical tourism is becoming a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's where another requirement actually comes in, medical tourism.
Yeah.
People are traveling to India, of course, but there are other countries like Turkey, people are traveling very often. And to actually get each and every task done in the right way, a concierge is very much important.
Yeah. Korea.
Yes,
Korea, skincare.
Korea for skincare, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, as we spoke about all the different individuals who opt for concierge nowadays, I mean, it was very different pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I think it was only for people who have that kind of generational wealth, who have settled at that one level in their life. But after COVID, I think luxury has become very subjective because COVID came as a trauma, for everyone. And a lot of people realize that this is not what I want in life. This is what I want in life. So luxury as a whole has become very subjective. For some people, it might be spending time with their family. For some people, it could be just going across the globe on a private jet. And spirituality is luxury as well.
I mean, when you mention luxury used to be very much attached to a brand or a product. Now, post-COVID or in general nowadays as well, luxury is all about saving time.
Correct.
And when we are able to actually give something back to the client, which is time, they really appreciate that thing.
Yeah. Even in terms of subjectiveness that we are speaking, we are also talking about how going inward is the new luxury, like...
the spirituality.
Yeah, spiritual. Varanasi, we have seen a lot of foreigners coming in as well, and they want to just sit there, meditate. Going inward is that luxury for them. And even the access to darshans, as simple as it's a very small thing, but that access matters so much for an individual who thinks that time is equal to money.
Yes, I mean, we do get such requests very often that they want to do a VIP darshan within an hour of time.
Yeah.
And they just want to come to that location, they want to do the darshan, and they just want to zip
back
off in their private jet.
Yeah.
And they want to get to the next meeting.
They want the best of both worlds.
They want the best, and that's how we do. I mean, that's what the service is all about.
Correct.
It's about handling that complex issue and just breaking it down and solving it for them.
Yeah. Coming to complex issues and solving it and breaking down, I even think nowadays, except for these individuals, even organizations are opting for a concierge, maybe the financial institutions, automobiles, real estates, yes, because they have realized that client retention is so important. It's the core to grow and grow that, basically to build that relation rather than growing. I would say like build that relation with their clients. It has become such an important part of client retention.
Yes, I mean, apart from it just being a tool as a retention, it also solves another issue that they have is there are service providers for different requirements across the globe right now. And what a brand wants is that the client stays loyal to them. And the only way that can happen is if the client gets everything in their life handled by such a brand. So now the brands are moving into becoming a more holistic brand for that
Correct.
matter. So anything happens, anything that they need, they just reach out to that one point of contact, that particular brand, which is, if in example, a financial institution, a bank. They can reach out to bank even if it is not just for financial requirement. They can,
because they would have that perception, correct, that if I am putting my 1 million or above 1 million USD with this particular financial institution, they know my tastes, they know my preferences, they know how a client or how an individual who has such a huge net worth would want his or her lifestyle to be. And that trust and that expectation in opposition of trust is something what they expect from the bank, to put it in a little bit complicated but easy words.
and that can be solved only by a dedicated concierge at hand. It cannot be solved by a call center to just beep and just receive a call through a call center, and they won't be able to handle it. It can be managed by an in-house concierge.
Personalization is the key.
Yes,
because even to handle their funds, they have a relationship manager. So how can anyone expect that to handle my lifestyle? I just have a call center where I have to actually verify myself all over again, because we are selling luxury of time. And to waste someone's time to verify them again and again is not something an HNI or UHNI would, expect of.
Yes, because at the end we are trying to reduce the unnecessary wastage of time and friction that happens. And what better way to actually have these services from an institution that is already handling such big portfolios of their clients. When we are talking about it, real estate is another big industry that actually caters to such requirements. Because when a customer buys a product, which is a house, they don't really look for a house these days. They want a whole community built around it. They want something for their children. They want something for their parents. And we have seen this very much so in Dubai with developers like Bingati as an example. They are building a whole community where different requirements are being fulfilled.
Loda, for that matter, Loda Alibag. We recently visited.
We recently visited that place, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's solving everything a person will have in their life.
So in terms of real estate, I think now they are not only selling luxury inside of the gate, but even outside of the gate.
Yes, I mean, brands are now focusing on services that a client would actually need when they go outside of the vicinity of the property itself. That helps them to actually make that client loyal to their brand.
And that living as well, right? Like, for example, if someone is staying in a house worth in India, 10 crore plus, and they want to have like a nice event arranged at their house, very peculiar menu, or they want to get some chef and cook for the guests they have, they would want to reach out to someone who's expert at these, right? Not like waste their time looking for 100 people and getting this curated. And that's where the concierge comes in very handy for these residential complexes or communities.
And not just events inside of the house, outside as well. If a client actually wants to have a whole dining experience for their friends and family on a beach, then the brand should be able to cater to that as well.
Education counseling as well. We are seeing a lot of rise where a lot of parents want the best of education counselors across the globe, or even for that matter, to send their children to schools like IVP, finishing schools in Switzerland, and they want someone to help them in all of these things. So I think a concierge, or even for that matter, for real estate communities like this, a holistic lifestyle support is what equals to concierge for them, where everyone in the family is taken care of. But I think I have observed something, that there's a misconception about concierge everywhere. People think if it's luxury concierge, it's expensive.
Even if it is not luxury concierge, if it is concierge, it is expensive. But that is very subjective, because if, for example, you want your birthday celebrated maybe on a yacht overlooking Dubai Ain.
Or a message on Ain, which we did.
And a message projected on Dubai Ain for maybe a marriage proposal,
Yeah.
it is going to cost you.
Correct.
It is going to cost you dearly. But the experience that you will get is probably something that, only a few people have experienced in their lifetime.
Coming to few people, let's talk about the Rolex Daytona Barbie. Oh, you're experts at watches.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's one of 10.
Yeah.
And if you want to be in that league of one of 10 in the whole world, then you have to pay a premium on that.
Correct.
And the demand is bonkers right now, to be honest.
But I think then, like you said, expensive, concierge being expensive is very subjective. These things I completely understand. But a lot of people still think that, okay, even if I'm doing a normal hotel, it might be expensive from a concierge, which is not the case. And I think for that, awareness and education is very important about how the entire concierge industry works.
I mean, at the end, the main thing is how seamless a service is.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to book a certain thing from a certain website or through a certain vendor,
you plan it yourself, say it.
There are 10 things that you have to manage. There are 10 things that you have to keep in mind. And when you have these things, you are not able to experience the joy of actually living that particular moment. And that's where a concierge comes in. And when you actually hand such thing to a concierge, the whole experience becomes seamless. And seamless is the key word because you pay for that.
Yeah.
And that's why it is a little expensive than booking it directly or reserving something directly.
So if there is any complexity that is, like you mentioned earlier at the beginning, any complexity coming in, just pick up the call and call your client relationship manager. So it's all about eliminating effort and that personalization that comes in.
Because we do get requirements from clientele who is probably not a member right now.
Okay.
And they come to us and they say, I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to coordinate everything anymore.
Yeah.
And it happens more so than you can believe.
Yeah.
And that's when a service from a concierge actually matters.
It's all about relationship building as well. So for today, if I am with the concierge, they know everything, my taste, my preferences, where do I like to travel, and I don't want to waste my time thinking about all those things because, being an entrepreneur, I think that so many thoughts, so many ideas and so many things you have to do that you don't want to think about, oh, where should I eat? What should I do? And my concierge knows me so well that they plan out the entire day and I just go there and do what is needed, come back. My brain energy is saved and still I'm having a good experience.
And it's planning everything with intention is the thing that people actually pay for.
Yeah.
Because they know what you will actually eventually like.
Correct.
And to have someone that is able to handle that is the luxury that you can have.
Yeah. What do you think futuristically how the concierge industry will go ahead in the global markets?
I feel concierge has to be implemented or rather integrated with each and every segments of the industry.
Yeah.
Be it any kind of brand, be it any kind of individual, everyone will essentially have some sort of touch point with a concierge. Because with the technology that is in place, even we are offering mobile applications and chat with AI so as to save time. And with that advent, it would be very interesting to see how things unfold.
Yeah. But AI in this industry, in concierge, I would call it as a co-pilot because I think at the end, relationship building does require human intervention and that human touch. And AI would actually be something that would fasten up the process, the efficiency, the personalization.
It will not replace the experience.
It would not replace the experience or the human touch. And that's the best thing about luxury, I feel, over not only concierge, but about luxury as well, because human touch and building that relationship and giving attention to the detail is what matters in luxury.
Coming to attention to details, what are the most memorable, unique requests that our team has handled for you?
Oh, for me, I think it was last year where one of our clients was in Paris and she wanted to replicate Emily's life. And remember, one whole day, we replicated the Emily in Paris experience for her. So that was, I mean, being a girl, I loved it. And I'm so excited. The new season has come in. Maybe we'll get a lot of requests for Emily in Rome now. But besides that, I think one of the most favorite experience that we have, I love, is the access to the Coco Chanel apartment.
Right.
I mean, that
The
is
Ritz
something,
Paris.
yeah, and the clients love it, and I love it personally as well. What about you?
I mean, when we are talking about stardom, you remember the private concert request that we had for
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes
Yeah.
in Seychelles?
Yeah.
I mean, it was upwards of what, $6 million?
Yeah.
But yeah, the client wants what they want.
Exactly.
And yeah,
So precisely like I said, AI cannot curate all of these experiences. You do need human intervention. You
Always.
need human team. Like I said, AI can only be a co-pilot to get things, done at a faster rate, efficiency, eliminating effort itself. But to do it with personalization and attention to detail is where the team needs to be there. An expert team needs to be there. Even for that matter, the drone show that we did for a client.
that was a 2-day notice.
Yeah,
you
in
know.
2 days' notice.
And there, human intervention is always needed for such a request, because we had to arrange so many permissions to manage everything, the
Yeah.
whole formation, how it
Yeah.
has to be. Each and every aspect needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, so I don't think when people say that will AI take up jobs for people.
In our industry,
No.
most certainly not.
Not.
I mean, it is going to be a helping hand, that's for sure. But to arrange things on a short notice, where a lot of human intervention in the sense of arranging certain things which normally take a set amount of time, that is where people like us come in.
And even when it comes to, say, generation about 35, not even 35, 40, I still say is an AI generation, tech driven. But like people about 35, 40, 45, 50,
Yes.
I don't think they would be comfortable putting up such big request or high value request with an AI and expecting AI to curate it all for them.
No, I mean, this is something that I have experienced myself, because we've had clients who have had access to multiple concierge services, but they reach out to concierge which is available right on call.
Human touch.
There are specific concierge services which are only available on a mobile application.
Yeah.
And you can put in a request, and then of course you start talking to an AI which already has all feeded information, but they are not able to modify any request, because they are already following certain rules and regulations. And that's where such clientele have reached out to us, because we provide a solution directly on call, or even in person for that matter.
Yeah.
And that actually goes for a long mile.
It does definitely. Like, I don't think AI can get access to Wimbledon tickets. AI can't get access to sold out tickets. You need the network for that. I remember we have done a lot of private access for sports personalities as well.
We have. And even for the matches that they are playing proudly.
Yeah, yeah, that's there.
I mean, for their friends and family, of course,
Yeah.
but that's the private access
that can be a memorable experience for me as well.
Yes, definitely.
So at the end, I think this is what luxury is, the attention to detail, eliminating effort, or being proactive rather than reactive is what luxury or even the concierge industry stands for today. Because I also think that a lot of people have the money, they have that disposable income, but they do not have that access. They do not know how to go where I want to go. And concierge also caters on the how to what they want, So I think with the kind of AI building up nowadays, everything is so easy. A lot of people are opting for entrepreneurship. Wealth will start accumulating. And once that happens, I think the demand for concierge will also accumulate. Sorry, not accumulate, but the demand for concierge will grow.
Yeah, I mean, it can even turn into a generational product, like a concierge or like a luxury product itself.
Yeah.
It can be transferred from generation to generation, where they have been handled by a specific concierge for all their lifestyle
Like
requirements.
how family offices are.
Yes, essentially,
Yeah.
for their wealth, and this will be for their lifestyle.
So that's the future of concierge, is what we can say.
Yeah, yes.
Like a luxury service which is passed on from generations to generation.
Yes.
And we know all the data. But that's a secret to keep. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I am also looking out, forward to this, how it pans out in the future. But I'm sure the way the request and the way this industry is shaping up, it's going to be an amazing ride.
Of course, and I think, like we said, luxury is subjective. You don't know, it'll be more subjective. People will be open to experience a lot of new experiences, and it's never ending. I mean, the world is growing,
Yeah.
and so the disposable income of people.
And hoping for more unique requirements that come in.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for tuning in, and see you again to explore what's next.